the Fantasy Zone. John Ritchie, Kay Adams in the house, taking a little break from action. Of course, if anything happens, we will dish out your fantasy ins and outs and get you right back there. But for now, we want to welcome 7-year NFL vet. He played QB for 4 teams in the league. He's going to dish out all sorts of advice, and you can catch him on SNY post-game for all of the Jets games as well. Let's welcome in Ray Lucas. Jets. Well, we are in New York City. We're going to obviously talk about the Pats game that's going to go on tonight. Here's my first question. You played for the Pats, the Jets, the Ravens, and the Dolphins. If you could have, right now, currently take over as QB of any of those 4 teams, which would it be and why?
It would be definitely New England, just because Bill Belichick is there, and I
easiest division, maybe? Easiest
well,
road,
now it is, yeah, especially the way everybody's playing.
Least resistance?
But Belichick is a genius, and when I was playing for him, you know, he was just masterful. I've seen this guy scrap a whole defensive game on the sideline and put a new one in and be effective.
How confident are you in your job security at SNY covering the Jets, saying you'd rather go play for Belichick?
Very, absolutely. I'm very.
Ryan.
Yeah, I'm very.
No? Yeah, pretty much.
I'm good, yeah.
The Jets, I've enjoyed all the drama surrounding that team this year. I think.
Always do.
The John Idzik factor, did he hose Rex Ryan this year?
Well, that's the question, because when you look at a Rex Ryan defense, you need 2 shutdown corners, you know, and when you go into the season with a guy like Patterson who goes AWOL and then you get rid of him and then you bring no one in to help Rex Ryan's defense. And if you look at the struggles that he's had this season, all the drives before halftime, it comes down to they don't have anybody at the corner position to cover wide receivers. So, again, is it John Idzik wanting to get his own guy in there? Or is it there's not a lot of people out there?
I've never seen a Rex Ryan defense with corners playing so off and
so soft. Yes.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad because he can't do what he wants to do.
Right.
You know Rex. Is he as amazing a guy behind closed doors as what we see? I mean, he seems like a real kick in the pants.
I remember being in Baltimore, and they were doing their scouting report. So in the beginning, Rex was actually like, we were sitting here, and he was facing that way, and he was talking to himself. He was moving his hands around. So I'm looking around like they're probably playing a joke on me. I'm sitting in the front. I just got there a day ago. And he turns around and says, we were playing Miami, he says, if they rush for 100 yards, everyone's fired. And then each coach just got worse. You know what I mean? Then it was more. So Rex is a player's coach. You know what I mean? And those guys in the locker room, even though they were 1-8 going into that Steeler game, they're going to play for their coach, regardless of what happens to him at the end of the season.
Do you think he'll make it?
No, I don't.
Former
I really don't.
NFL QB Ray Lucas here, of course, in the 2 box. We'll be bringing up the Green Bay Eagles game for you guys as well, so you don't miss any of the action right here in the Fantasy Zone. A guy that they did bring in the Jets is Percy Harvin. Kind of why I'm surprised you didn't say you'd rather be a QB of a team that you're familiar with, that you cover, but also that has a guy like Eric Decker and a weapon that's so versatile and so much upside like Harvin. With a guy like that, put it into like not a fantasy perspective, but what's his upside in this offense?
Well, I think he realizes this is the last stop, too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you look at his history of, Minnesota and then Seattle, and then coming to the Jets, he is now more professional. Anytime we need something from Percy Harvin, he's more than willing to do it. But he's a rare talent. And there's nobody could say that he's not. I mean, the Jets are trying to find ways to get him the ball, whether it be handing it off to him, quick screen game. I want to see if he could be a wide receiver. I want to see him put out opposite Eric Decker and cause people to roll coverage over to him because he has the speed. I just don't know if he could run the routes like an Eric Decker yet.
Chris Ivory or Chris Johnson?
Chris Ivory. I mean, he runs angry. You know what I mean? That's the kind of guy. And here's the problem. Every first series the Jets have, he'll have 56 yards rushing, and then you don't see him. Right. Where does he go? So is this more on Marty Morningweg or what? Because I think he's the kind of guy, the more carries he gets, the better he gets as the game goes on.
What's your take on Marty Morningweg? Because I had him as a coach when I was in Philadelphia. Is he maximizing his personnel?
Well, I mean, that's a slippery slope. I mean, I have times where I see Marty Morningweg when he sees Geno Smith struggling in the game, and he knows he's not accurate, and then he puts him back in shotgun for the next 2 series where he throws 3 picks in the first in the first quarter. Do I think he's a quarterback whisperer? Absolutely. But I think he's having a tough go this year at it. Now, let's face it. When you have a guy like Decker, is he number 1? or is he number 2? He's paid like a number
me.
1. So, if you ask me, 2. You know what I mean? So how much weapons does Marty have to play with also? So, again, is it Idzik or is it Marty?
Ray, you wrote a great book. It's called, or you co-wrote it, Under Pressure, How Playing Football Almost Cost Me Everything and Why I Do It All Again. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds and tell me why you would do it all again.
And how did it almost cost you everything?
Yeah, well, give us a synopsis real quick. Here's the book right here.
Yes, it's a story about me. I fell into addiction. After my back surgery, I had no insurance. So I had serious neck problems. So what happened was the doctors couldn't do the surgery. They don't do IOUs, for a $300,000 surgery. So they give you pills. So probably started off about 125 pills. I ended up at my worst taking 1,400 pills a month. Thought about killing myself, was going to drive to the GW.
What kind of pills are we talking about?
All. Wow. Whatever I can get my hands on. And, it's a story of addiction. It's overcoming addiction. I got the surgery. I got a 4-inch steel plate with 8 screws in my neck. Had 2 more neck surgeries after that. Came out on the other side. And it's also a story of my wife. 90% of the guys that go through what I go through or I went through, their wives leave. And mine didn't. And I must have told her a couple times, take the kids and bounce.
Wow.
And she would just yell at me, sickness and health. And it got to the point where every time she said it, I wanted to just, grab her a little bit and shake her. But we came through on the other side. So
that's incredible.
For my story, I don't have a problem telling people, yeah, I'm an addict, but I made it out, and you can too. So it's not a story of embarrassment. It's a story of overcoming adversity. And John.
And it's relatable, really,
everything that made us get to the top of the mountain became my crutch. Can't ask for help. Can't show weakness. All that stuff helped me in my addiction to take it to the next level.
Wow. Did you meet your wife while you were playing?
I was actually, the first time I kissed my wife, I was in 8th grade. She was a junior in high school.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah, she's my high school sweetheart.
I love getting schmoopy here in the Fantasy Zone. The forward is by Bill Parcells. An incredible story. And you're doing a book signing in New York City.
Yeah, I'm Wednesday. I'll be down at Rutgers at the Barnes & Nobles. We're going to do a book signing for my book down there at my alma mater. So it's going to be great.
Talk to me about doing the post game for the Jets. How different is it? What's your biggest challenge?
I'll tell you what.
Now?
I'm so honest. I'm a Jersey boy. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So it's hard for me not to be hard when I grade. People always laugh to be like, oh, yeah, Ray, what is a grade? F. It's a friggin' F. I don't really care. It's an F. I tried to give an F- once, and I actually got in trouble at SNY because there's no such thing as an F-. But when the guys play good, I'm a Jet fan. I've been covering the Jets for 9 years. I became a Jet fan, so it's not like I want to see them play bad.
Yeah.
I just want the circus to be over. I just want the Jets to go in a direction where every Sunday it doesn't have to be a bashing session. You know what I mean? It does get tough a little bit, but I'm still rooting for the Jets.
And real quick, we've got Sunday night action on NBC tonight. Patriots, Colts. What's one thing you're looking for in that game?
Andrew Luck. Can they get pressure on that kid? Is there any quarterback out there better? Maybe Aaron Rodgers right now? He's amazing.
He doesn't even care. I mean, he gets punched in the mouth and he gets up and smiling.
One of the toughest quarterbacks I've ever seen play the game.
It's incredible.
The book, guys, is called Under Pressure, How Playing Football Almost Cost Me Everything and Why I Do It All Again. A compelling story, a must-read there. And you can, of course, go to that signing. You can catch him on SNY post-game for the Jets. Ray Lucas, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Let's send it over to Guru.
And in Green Bay, playing with a lead, Eddie Lacy getting the rock from Aaron Rodgers. And he pops off this nice 37-yard run. Great to see if you're an Eddie Lacy owner. James Starks in the mix as well. Let's go there now. Lambeau Field, Packers-Eagles.